let's bring up our welcoming screen. Welcome home. We are glad you are here. Moving forward with our next slide, we will all say in unison, or as close to it as we can. Together we will say, we are a welcoming community where the vibration of love lifts us, the wisdom of the ages inspires. Turn to somebody else and say, I honor the path that brought you here this morning. Wasn't quite in unison, but we get points for trying. Our schedule for the week will now go on the screen, or so I believe. With me again. There we go. Have faith. Have faith in the schedule, have faith in the crew, have faith in the technology. All of the courses that are coming, or all the classes that are coming up this week, we of course have a full slate of classes regularly. We also have highway cleanup that will be coming up, and Max, highway cleanup, Saturday the 10th. Max wanted to say something.
We've been doing it like 50 years.
Max points out we've been doing it for 50 years.
And we're going to meet next Saturday at Hole in the Wall at 9 o'clock. There should be something in the newsletter.
It'll be in tomorrow.
Okay, great. So anyway, you talk to me today, and it's great.
Okay, thank you, Max. And for those of you who couldn't see him on Zoom, he said basically what the slide you're saying is, except he said we've been doing it for 50 years, which is a touch of an exaggeration, but the intention is good. Bev is not here, so I have a card that was sent to us by Bridge House that Angelica asked me to read. So I'll just stick that in here. Do you want me to read all of the thank yous, or just, it's a general thank you from the people of Bridge House. We greatly appreciate all the time and effort you put into supporting the families. Thank you very much. Another person said, thank you for everything you have done to support our families. They greatly appreciate all that has been given to them. Basically, a lot of people saying thank you in different wording. So this is from Bridge House, which is one of our ongoing places we donate. And thank you to Bev, who's not here today, for spearheading that for the last several years. Zoom Sunday next week, Angelica will be down in Ukiah, so we will all be on Zoom. The Ukiah people will be in real world. It's the second Sunday of the month, almost always. Which will also be September 11th. So that's of note. Book Circle. We have a book circle with a new book. The book is slide. Step. There we go. Living Untethered. And that is done on Zoom. If you'd like to know more about it, Angelica, you lead the book circle. Is that correct? Okay. Art with Louise, a regular monthly occurrence. Slide. There we go. And that will be September 17th. You can again go, it's on Zoom. Louise has been doing this now wherever, there you are, for about 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, every month. Okay, so if you'd like to
I doing a few classes before COVID, and then it got to be a regular thing since COVID. So
it's been regular since COVID, and thank you for doing that. Let your inner artist come out. We have a guest speaker, or guest speakers, actually. They've been here before. They will be back on September 25th. And it is, if I can remember correctly, Bonnie and some slide. There we go. All right, it's visioning. You're right. This was my error. Visioning, and then Bonnie, and right. And so I'm done. It takes a lot of skill to screw this up like this. Not anybody can do it this well. So, all right, wherever we were, we have guest speakers on the 25th. We have visioning also. We saw those. All of these are in the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, please do so. Let's show the guest speaker slide again if we could. There we go. Reverends Bonnie and Andy.
They've been here before.
Yes, they have. They're coming.
They've been here before.
They've been here before.
Andy is a fantastic musician. He's backed a lot of Motown people at Tyler. I mean, he's a professional musician, and he rock. Remember when he was here last time, he just, I mean, the roof was blown off, it was wonderful. And Bonnie, his wife, is an excellent speaker and teacher.
And by the way, I'm noticing several new or relatively new faces, and we wanted to welcome you. We appreciate that you come here. You are the lifeblood of this center growing, so thank you for being here. Welcome. Nice to have you all here. Okay, the bookstore. Let's deal with that. 25% of all books, except those that Reverend Angelica has written, help support the center and elevate your mind. Our little pantry needs help. So please donate food, non-perishable. We've been having a fly infestation at home, and we discovered that a bunch of potatoes had turned into vodka unintentionally. One of the reasons why we have non-perishable. I would also like to invite Burl. Would you please step forward, because Burl has an announcement to make. Come on all the way up.
Wow. Well, those of us who lived through the previous week or two, setting up and, pulling off that sale. There's one person who has stepped forward from anonymity. Anyway, we didn't get to know her very well before. And she really pitched in. Nancy has, if you will come forward while I talk. Nancy pitched in daily for 2 weeks to help our Twice Nice sale make a success, moving heavy boxes, sorting, pricing, helping with the sale and the cleanup. We want to honor you as our member of the night. This will be framed and hung on the back wall, and this is your copy.
Stand there for a minute, please. Photo op.
Here we go. Oops. I am the other one. Yeah. There you go. One for you. And one for the. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And as we start to move into this month's theme, just a brief announcement. Karen and I are going to start sharing the moderator position. So Karen will be doing this, as I will be doing this, which is a way to lead into, we need volunteers, not just to be moderators, but this center works on volunteers. Edward today is volunteering as a greeter, which is one of the best positions in the world, to be the greeter. We need people to help. Here's the other thing we're going to need people to help with. We are going back to passing the plate during the service as of today, as opposed to just having it sit on the back table. That position is called the usher. We could use ushers. I will do my best to help coordinate, but I am not stepping forward to be the official volunteer coordinator, but I will do my best. If somebody's interested, let me know and we'll try to find a position for you. Again, the center does not work on the paid staff because then it works on like 1.5 people. So we need all of us to chip in. If you like the center, it's a great way to give back and to meet some wonderfully warm people. Speaking of working, our theme for the month, did I tie this in well? Yes, Angelica.
I think that you should mention.
Oh, and our policy, we've also had a discussion as society continues to evolve, change, move through the COVID and the pandemic situation. Our policy for masks is evolving. Our policy is we strongly recommend and highly appreciate mask wearing, but if that is not something you can do, we welcome you here anyway. We're just asking that everybody be careful. So those of us who wear a mask, great. Those who cannot, we understand you are welcome here anyway. Okay, let us move forward. I think I worded that. Okay, there we go. Now, our theme for the month is working. And this is our new theme. Our contemplative meditation for the month, or for today, will be led by Karen, who will step forward. Jackson will, of course, do the music. So Karen, if you'd come forward and take the microphone away from me, please.
I really like your artwork.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we went back and forth on that one a couple of times to get that one to work out right. All right, there you go.
All right. So reading that I chose for today is called Chop Wood, Carry Water. When you sweep the floors, gather your daily regrets in a dustpan, release them into the afternoon sun, and let the seeds of sorrow plant new dreams. When you wash the dishes, scrub away the debris of mine. Let each bubble reveal the emptiness of your original face. When you cook food, let your heart let your heart pour into every simmer and store. Let every spice and kernel and grain contain your holy devotion to this brief human life. When you eat, chew your own love. Swallow the arms of the mother. Let them wrap around your belly with infinite compassion. Let every bite be an act of worship. When you bathe, let your hands become healers. Strip the body of its tension and confusion. Pour the water of suppleness back into your bones. Baptize yourself in holy presence. Let your skin drink the nectar of open delight. Let fingernails scratch open your tired old wounds until your wholeness is revealed beneath the static. When you walk, let each toe pressing into the earth be a thank you note to the gift of the ground. When you breathe, let each inhale be a love letter to God, and every exhale a blessing to the trees. You are a living prayer and magic in motion. The church of the ordinary is the secret of secrets, for it is in the tiny places that kindness lives, and this kindness is the doorway to God.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
It is in this gift of knowing that we simply speak a word of truth, knowing that each breath we take is a blessing. For there is only one presence, one power. I call it God, I call it good. And I know that it is present right here, right now, because there is no spot that God is not. And what I know is true is that every beloved person that is here this day or in the sound of our voice online is doing the work of the divine. That we are here to be a part of something even bigger, a blessing to this beloved thing we call planet Earth and life itself. And so we simply speak a word of blessing over every volunteer, over our music and our music ministry, and over our beloved Reverend Angelica, knowing that every word is the divine pouring forth, that every note is that love note to the divine, that every breath we breathe is the breath of love itself, pouring in as and through us and out into the larger world to up-level the vibration of the entire planet. And for this and so much more, I am so grateful. And so it is in this space of just overjoy that I cast the words forth into the law, letting them go and letting them be, knowing that sweet spirit has already said, yes, my beloved ones, yes. And we affirm and know this together by saying together, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am blessed.
Perfect. Thank you. We are so blessed to have Reverend Angelica.
Good morning. It's good to see that our room getting fuller week by week. How wonderful. I want to make one other announcement that we forgot about. You might have noticed there was some cones in the parking lot. Well, there's Vicky White took some of our things that we're donating to a place in Arcata that used to be called something for angels. Angels of Hope, but now it's called Youth something. Now it has a new name. What? Youth Ability. And talking with them, they agreed to come and get everything, including the furniture that was left that's downstairs. Which I am so happy about that. We don't have to try to figure out what to do with, who can we call today to take some. I even found out, unfortunately, as Nancy and I ripped down all those boxes and took a lot of the newsprint, that our recycling station is closed. Now you have to pay to have things recycled, which was interesting. I mean, things are changing all over the place, aren't they? Anyway, Vicky, wait just a minute. Vicky wants us to hang out a little bit until the truck comes, because if we each picked up one of those boxes and took it out on our way to the parking lot, that would help a lot. So thank you. Yes.
I just wanted to clarify, since I work for the city, the recycling center has not completely closed due to new law. They're having to refurbish it. A lot of it is still open. There'll be a campaign going out to say what has to be moved and stop recycling.
No, if you put stuff in your bin, your recycling bin at home, it goes to someplace different. And you can put your recycling at the one on Hawthorne where I went to, you just have to pay for it. But then they have 3 bins. And when we drove up yesterday, there was people pouring in beer cans and wine bottles, and I'm looking at all this going, boy, we in Humboldt drink a lot.
No, just those people.
Just those people, yeah. So here we are in a brand new month, September. September has always been an interesting month for me. September 23rd in particular. September 23rd, I made my decision and moved to Honolulu. Oh, I had made the decision before, but I moved to Honolulu to study with Reverend Helen Street. Lots of different things have happened for me around that time. And so I always look forward to September. September also being the time when the children go back to school, it feels like a second New Year's in a way. Another time when we can enhance our own education and allow ourselves to begin to or continue to pay more attention to who we are and what this whole universe is about. And so the Global Vision team with Centers for Spiritual Living is the one that creates the themes, and this theme this month is work, and you saw that slide earlier. Today's topic is good work. So what I wanted to talk about is all the different kinds of work. And work seems to be a major allocation of time in our lives. When we're first going into the workforce, of course, it's really a major allocation of time. We work really hard to make a living, to move up in status or whatever you might want to say, to get raises and my mind forgets that word where you get promotion. Thank you very much. So in all this, and then, you get to that place where you retire, you've done all your work, and then more work starts. I mean, while you've been working, nowadays, both women and men have to do housework, gardening work, fixing the car kind of work, lots of different work. And a lot of us volunteer, don't we? And so that could also be considered work. So the idea of work never ends. And I thought of something, I'll share it in a minute. So in the Global Vision statement for work, it says, this month is an invitation to embark upon an adventure in the spiritual practice of finding the good in the work that we do, through the revelation of everyday wonder within each task, project, widget, design, conversation, and product, and by taking every opportunity to do all the good that we can. So this is what we're going to be talking about this month. Today, of course, is the focus on the discovery of wonder, and the talk title is Good Work. Dr. Holmes writes in the Science Mind textbook, the science of mind is not a special revelation of any individual. It is rather the culmination of all revelations. We take the good wherever we find it, making it our own insofar as we understand it. The realization that good is universal and that as much good as any individual can incorporate it in their lives is theirs to use is what constitutes the science of mind and spirit. I like this point, that recognizing that good is universal and that as much as we can incorporate in our lives is ours to use. And there's all different kinds of work. I was thinking of during the meditation this morning that basically we come up with physical work, we have mental work, we have emotional work, and we have spiritual work. And in fact, spiritual work includes all those others, a lot of cleanup in those other areas. But so physical work is when you actually get up and go to a job, or you go outside and you pull weeds, or you wash the dishes, or you do something with your body. Mental work is for us now is looking at the thoughts that have kept us limited, that have kept us thinking that we're separate from the divine. Emotional work is really, really important because the more I study this teaching, which is over 40 years now, the more I study it, the more I realize that the emotional body puts out the energy that sets the law of attraction in action. So if I'm always feeling poor little old me, which I call the disease of phlegmitis, poor little old me. If I'm doing that, I'm sending out an energy to the universe that says, give me more of this. And of course, one thing after the other. I had a day of all days, Thursday, where it seemed like everything I did was either stalled or came up weird or whatever. And all of a sudden I realized toward the end of many events like that, that frustrated me. I realized, oh, if I had treated the first one in a different way, I probably would not have experienced it all day long. If I had just blessed it. And one of the things that I have to thank my mother for was teaching me how to read at a very early age. And the book Pollyanna was like my Bible when I was a kid, because no matter what happened, Pollyanna would find something good out of it. And I had to remind myself Thursday, I forgot that my quote unquote middle name is Pollyanna. I need to look for the good in absolutely everything. And that then sets up emotions. If I'm looking for the good and I'm feeling the good when I find it, then I'm going to set up the emotions that bring me more good, right? So, and then of course there's spiritual work, and spiritual work never ends. Darn, I keep thinking I see it almost like stairs. I get up, I'm moving up these stairs, I'm learning, I'm meditating, I'm praying, I'm, taking classes, I'm doing everything that I think that I should do to be a more spiritual being. And I get up to a level and I think, yay, I've got it. And as soon as I think that, a whole new set of stairs appears. I see that you understand me. Yes. So I came up with an acronym for the word work, because for me, the idea of work used to be really heavy. Oh, I have to work at this, or I have to go to work, or I have to work to clean the house. That's the area right now where I'm finding that it's a heavy word, the housekeeping work. I was telling somebody the other day that I decided last Christmas that I don't have to do the work. In my past, I've had housekeepers. I've had somebody come and do it twice a month or once a month or whatever. And so I'm going to start doing that again. And then I look around my house after 2 years of using it as an office and not doing much housework. I'm thinking, oh my God, I've got to clean this place before I could hire anybody. I still haven't opened that present of giving myself a housekeeper. And I think, okay, next Christmas I'll do it. That's only a few months away. I can get everything cleaned up by then. Work, to take the heaviness off the word. Wonderful opportunities revealing knowledge. Feel that. Wonderful opportunities revealing knowledge. In absolutely everything that we do, there is a message for us. It's like the divine constantly, this divine energy is constantly speaking to us. Sometimes we hear it, sometimes we don't. But what if we begin to treat work like this, as if it was a wonderful opportunity revealing knowledge? And you know what that makes me think of is children. Because in this idea of work, as I just used the acronym for, there is a sense of wonder. A sense of wonder. And we question everything. Children question everything, don't they? I mean, sometimes I'm sure parents get tired of all those questions. But the questioning is part of learning, is part of experiencing and expanding our consciousness, revealing knowledge. So wonder's a feeling of amazement, isn't it? I mean, I think back at, I didn't have children, but I have had godchildren and was at the birth of my goddaughter and got to watch her grow up. I mean, a lot of her life, and then I moved away. But I remember her as a little girl, just so full of wonder, seeing something that I've been looking at, for a long time and being amazed by it. And having a lot of questions about it, of course. So this idea of wonder, it's a feeling of amazement blended with esteem caused by something beautiful, unexpected, unfamiliar, or inexplicable. Wonder creates a state of awed admiration or respect. So my feeling is, and I have 3 words with B's for you today. The first one is beginning. What if we go back to beginner's mind and allow ourselves to be like little children? And even maybe, I tried it this morning, actually. I'm filling up the coffee pot, that all important juice of the morning. And so I'm thinking about this as, this is just amazing. When I was in Hawaii, I grew a coffee tree just because I thought, oh, I can grow my own beans and roast them and blah, blah, blah. That's a lot of work. That wonderful little bean that you buy in the store, if you buy whole bean coffee, that's encased in a thick little covering that you have to peel off. And then that's encased in a berry that's sort of prickly. It's a lot of work to roast and make your own coffee. My coffee didn't turn out very good. The one in Hawaii, not the one this morning. So here I am scooping up coffee that I've had ground and putting it in this little filter thing and putting in my fresh, cool water and turning on the pot. And oh my goodness, it tastes good. And I think about that. I thought about that this morning with this feeling of wonder, how coffees from all over the world taste a little bit different. And I happen to wonder about that, or feel wonder about that, because I looked up on the side of my refrigerator and my older brother lives in Oregon, and he goes to this coffee shop where they do their own beans and everything. And it's something about the monk. That's the word in there. I can't remember it exactly. But he sent me 4 different kinds for Christmas last year. And I've just finished them a little while ago. And I'm looking up and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this one was from in the southern part of the Americas. And this one is from Europe. And this one is from, and wow, here's this elixir of life, so to speak, that probably all of us partake of, that is so different all the time. Everywhere you go, you judge the coffee. Green Lily has the excellent coffee for brunch, by the way. So there's that feeling of wonder. In the beginning, let's come to this like a child. Let's come to our spiritual life, which is our actual life, like a child. My second one is believing. So wondering is all about having these opportunities to experience new things. And one of the things I thought about in this idea under believing is because principle is that it is done unto you as you believe, right? That's the bottom line law. You could talk about the law of attraction and the law of correspondence and all these other laws, but the bottom line is it's done unto you as you believe. So in this idea of believing, I thought, if I've been having a hard time doing any kind of work, maybe I could play a game with myself, like take wonder to work day. And you know, if you do that, or I could take wonder into housework day. And as I do that, the universe will provide opportunities for me to experience wonder. Because I believe that the universe is willing to honor all of our requests. And our requests are put in the law by what we're predominantly thinking and feeling, what we're believing in. So do you believe in a God that is giving and generous and unlimited? Then you'll be experiencing that. If you believe in a God that is somewhere far away that you have to really, pray to, or use someone else to pray to it, then you're going to experience that. It's done unto you as you believe. So Socrates says, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. Isn't that an amazing statement? Wonder is the beginning of wisdom. So it made me think that if wonder is the beginning of wisdom, maybe wonder is the actual work that we should be doing. Remember my acronym, wonderful opportunities revealing knowledge? All of life is going to bring you something to become more aware of the truth of your being. And again, I'm going to say the truth of your being is that you are the divine. You're God. Everything is. Absolutely everything. And some people don't like the word God, so we could say you are divine energy made manifest. Everything is divine energy made manifest. God to me is sort of a short, abbreviated thing rather than first cause or the universe or all of those things. So wonder is really alive. As I experience wonder, the quality of wonder, there's a livening in me that happens. And it celebrates, it seems to celebrate every little nuance, every little aspect of everything. In particular, the thing that I'm focusing on. It also seems to bring us divine surprises. So I love those. We in the Welcome Wellness group on Thursday nights call them love notes. And we love looking for and experiencing love notes from the universe. And if you're waiting for them, the universe goes, oh yes, let me give you some more. So just try that for a minute or two, or 3, or a day, or a month, or a lifetime. My third one, so we've had beginning, believing, and my third one is behaving. That's an interesting word, isn't it? Behaving. So there's a Spanish poet named Machado. I'm not sure I pronounced that right, but he wrote, "Wayfarer, there is no way. We make the way by walking," which is basically what we've said anyway. It's done unto us as we believe. We're making it happen. So no matter what we're doing, wonder should be a part of our everyday experience. That sometimes I know the tasks of life seem overwhelming. But what can you do? Sometimes things happen, like I was watching a show on TV and this avalanche came down in this movie and took out a whole village. Now, what could you find to wonder about that? as you've lost probably everything in your home covered with mud and maybe some people. You could wonder wow, look at that earth that fell off that mountain. You could wonder about something. You could wonder about still being alive or be wondering. So no matter what's happening in your life, allow yourself to find some wonder in it. Allow yourself to find the divine design that's in absolutely everything. St. Augustine wrote this: people to travel at the height of mountains. People travel to wonder at the height of mountains, at the huge waves of the sea, at the long courses of rivers, at the vast compass of the ocean, at the circular motion of the stars, and they pass by themselves without wondering at all. So let's not pass by any of our lives, any of our life. Let's allow ourselves to feel all the emotions, even anger. There's nothing wrong with anger. You just don't hold on to it. Let yourself feel all the emotions, feel all the amazement of life. I mean, when you think about it, these earth suits that we're wearing are really pretty amazing. This is a self-repairing earth suit, right? It lets us live in this dimension, breathe this air, etc. We can feel things, we can hear things, we can see things, taste things, smell things. It's a miracle. So let us wonder, let's have wonder about our bodies. And in fact, let's invite wonder to join us every moment of our lives. Especially when we're doing our work. And as we do that, we can let that work be good work. So let's have the affirmation. Let's say this affirmation together, and then we will go into treatment. Take a breath. I rise this day with the pure intention to do what is given me to do today. This is my contribution to the good work that is the gift of spirit. I give this willingly and with grace, and so it is. And so let's treat. In the beginning was God, and God became all things. Out of this divine energy came infinite possibilities of form and shape and everything. And so as we look with our mind's eye around our world this morning, we allow ourselves to look with wonder. Wow, all of this glory, all of this good. We celebrate the divine, remembering that in truth, there's only this one life. That life is God's life. That life is the life we're living. And this life is a gift to us that we get to use the way we want to use it. So I declare for each one of us this morning that we allow ourselves to be like little children. And we come to the experiences in our life with wonder and awe. We allow ourselves to do our work with wonder. How amazing computers are, how amazing garden tools are, how amazing vehicles are. All of these too are divine energy made manifest as those things. So it's God the car, God the tools, God the computer. It's all divine. And that's certainly a thing to wonder, to be in wonder about. Our bodies. Oh, there's words to a song that say something about our bodies are a wonderland. And they certainly are. They allow us to experience life in all of its fullness. And how wonderful our consciousness is. This too is something to wonder about. That we can tap into just about anything with our minds and experience life even more fully. And how wonderful our emotions are. That we get to feel joy and laughter. That we can feel sadness and anger, frustration. And that we can choose what we wish to feel at every moment. What an amazing thing we are. What an amazing thing this world is. The music is. The one that plays the music is. What a wonderful thing the chairs are that you're sitting on. Everything can be full of wonder. And so we let wonder be our work. We let ourselves see everything in the world with the eyes of a child as if it's brand new and be amazed and ask questions and experience the answers. And I know that as we do this, the universe rushes forward to fulfill us in ways that we can't even imagine. Financially, in health, in creativity, in love, in all the things that our heart desires. And so I celebrate us as we begin this month of looking at work in a different way and realizing that it's up to us to experience it in a positive, uplifting way. And this is good, very good. So I release these words into divine law, knowing that they are already so, and so it is. So this morning, Les is going to be our musician. Let's give her a hand. Thank you, Les.
While Rick is setting up, I'll tell you a little bit of history of the song. The phrase, which has been a union slogan for over a century now, came from a speech by a suffragist named Helen Todd. And there was a poem written about it by James Oppenheim in like 1911. And a movement started around this, bread for all and roses too. And then Oppenheim's poem got made into a song by a whole number of musicians. The version I do is probably closest to Mimi Farina's. Mimi Farina also had an organization called the Bread and Roses. And the idea is that not only do workers deserve to be paid for their work, but they deserve appreciation and respect, dignity in their work, regardless of what that work is. As we go marching, marching through the glory of the day, 1,000 darkened kitchens and 100 milliards gray are caught up in the radiance a sudden sun discloses, as the people hear us singing bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, hear the voices of our dead come rise up through our singing in their ancient cry for bread. But art and love and beauty still our trudging spirits new. Oh yes, it's bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. We're fighting for the women and we're fighting for the men. We're fighting for our children and together we must win. That their lives need not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, we are standing proud and tall. The rising of the women is the rising of us all. No more the drudge, the idler, 10 who toil while one reposes, but a sharing of life's bounty, bread and roses, bread and roses.
Thank you very much. So let's move to our next slide. Thank you very much. Les, that was good. I haven't heard that before. And let's read this together. Hey, where to go? Okay. I gratefully give from the fullness of my abundance, knowing my gift blesses the center, all in it and beyond, and so it is. And Jeff and Jackson are going to be playing some music. that says, the next slide rather. That's for those of you who need to mail it in or whatever. And let's just know that these baskets, sure, why not? So let's know that these gifts are blessed beyond measure, that for each one of us, we are even more prosperous than we were before we gave the gift, and the whole universe is saying yes. And so we thank Spirit. We thank the universe for its generosity, and so it is. All right. That's kind of neat feeling to have the baskets back again. Yeah. To be able to, we'll add a little bit, maybe at the beginning next month, we'll start being able to sing again. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Let's go to the next slide. Who would like to read our community statement of inclusion? Thanks, Brian.
We, the Eureka and Ukiah Centers for Spiritual Living, are communities that celebrate diversity, foster inclusion, champion inner work, and create space for brave, vulnerable conversations. We are a community that honor the unique emanation of God that each person embodies and advocate with people for human rights and dignity for all. We are communities that bless each other, see sacredness in all life, remain learners and listeners so we may grow together and understand that oneness is not sameness. We know our beloved community is revealed more fully when we love each other well.
Thank you. So now is the ending of our service. However, I want to do something today that we haven't done in a long time. We used to stand in a circle and we would share a demonstration story if we had one. So does anyone have one that they would like to share? Come up here. Heidi, thank you.
So Brandon and I left town Thursday evening for just a real spontaneous getaway. And we drove and we drove and we drove, and there was smoke and smoke and smoke. And I said, Brand, let's just be open to what the universe provides for us and be positive in our thinking. And sure enough, we got to Weaverville, there was no smoke. And we went to a tavern and ordered a brick-fired pizza. And someone told us, don't camp at that campsite down the road. There's a bunch of tweakers there. Don't go there. Don't go there. And I'm like, Bran, let's go there. Because we had been to the one down the road that they suggested. But the whole weekend, we got there and it was wonderful. There were families there. It was peaceful and quiet. We saw so much wildlife. We saw bear and otters, and I saw a huge toad in the water. And I mean, we saw things that we wouldn't have seen if we hadn't have gone there. And just the whole weekend we were open, and we found new swimming holes, and we discovered a town that the Historical Society, Helena, has anyone heard of it?
No.
The Historical Society wants to redo the buildings there. And so we took a bunch of photographs, and the whole weekend was just a wonderful adventure, and it was fun. And we were open and had a wonderful experience. So that's my demonstration. Thank you.
Does anyone else want to share one? Les.
I went to visit a friend who has become homeless and is camping. And as a result of that, she has become a remover of invasive ivy from the forest. And I saw the work she was doing. She removed a branch of ivy that was like this big around. and she cut it down with a bow saw. And, you know, she was asking me if maybe I could get her a climbing harness. It's become a real, a passion for her. And so here she is, having become a forest activist for the second time in her life, because she had no place to stay. And she took me to a place where she had been working, and it was beautiful. It was, she could see the bay, you could hear the water, and the forest was all around us, and we could look out over the rocks, and it was just lovely. And I stood there and meditated and thought of Angelica's thing about wonder in everything. And I was so grateful.
So demonstrations happen in all different ways. So, and I'm going to invite us every Sunday now before we sing the peace song, to share one. So if you think, you don't have to actually sit down and treat about it. You know, treat is our word for prayer for those of you who are new, spiritual mind treatment. You don't actually have to sit down. You just have to think it and desire it. And the universe goes, okay, here. So pay attention. Those little love notes, that's what we're going to call them. We'll call them sharing love notes. So let's stand up and let's sing our peace song. Remember, we're doing this as a prayer. Thank you, everybody, for being here this morning. Have a great Labor Day tomorrow. And as you walk out the door, remember that you get to pick up a box and take it to the truck that's out there. So thank you.